Hello and welcome to another episode of Andy Ackright History. I'm Andy Ackright. Today I'm in Gardner, Kansas at the intersection of 183rd and 56th Highway. I'm at the Gardner Junction. Okay, Gardner Junction is the site that represents the site where Santa Fe, California, and Oregon trails all meet. These are National Historic Trails recognized by the government. Now I say represents because the actual spot is about a half mile to the north. Okay, so a half mile to the north, but this is where they could put this information and all that. So that's what they did, and it's a great thing. Now we got to go back to the trails. Here's what happened. 1821, Mexico gets its independence from Spain. So now they have control of Santa Fe in New Mexico, and they need trading partners, right? So they kind of like, okay, great, we want trading partners. And there's this guy named William Becknell, and he was an explorer and a trader, and he said, man, I got to do this. So he said, I need to make the quickest route between Santa Fe and Kansas City, because that's where, everything, the very end of civilization was Kansas City. And so he made the shortest route, 1821, and in 1825 they mapped it out so it was mass produced and more people could go. So 1825 we got that. 1827 we have William Subville and Moses Black Harris, and they're fur traders, and they were up in the Oregon territory and all that, and they're coming down and they come to that spot, and they're kind of like, what a nice trail, already made for us. I think we'll use it. So they decide to use this trail, and they go back to Kansas City because the trail started in Independence, Missouri, or Kansas City, Missouri, Westport Landing. Okay. And so they go back, and there you have the spot in which the Santa Fe Trail goes out and then splits. You go northwest to the Oregon Trail and California Trail. You go southwest to Santa Fe. Southwest to Santa Fe was made mostly for trading, and the Oregon and California were mostly for starting a new life. There was a depression in 1837, and people wanted a new start. They could go to Oregon, and they split off and went to California as well. Then you have in 1848, you have the gold discovered, and 1849, a big rush to California, and that's why the San Francisco 49ers football team is named the 49ers. So you have all these big rushes going out there, and in 1854, the U.S. government opens up the land to non-Indian settlers, and they go out there and start to settle, because the Missouri River, west of the Missouri River, was considered desert, just deserted land, useless land. Kansas, everything, useless land, until they figured out through these trails and everything, hey, it's not. And so they opened it up in 1854 because they had given it to the Native Americans, and I say given it very loosely because they kicked out the Native Americans in 1830 with the Indian Removal Act. So Kickapoo, Shawnee, Mohicans, Chippewa, Potawatomi, Wea, Wyandot, Osage, just to name a few. And they were moved to the permanent Indian territory of west of the Missouri River until 1854, when they're like, hey, this stuff's pretty cool, we'll take it over. In 1865, you have the end of the Civil War, and they want to make railroads. So they say, we want to make railroads, we want to make these things so we can get across the country faster. They do, and in 1880, you have the end of the trails. Right? There's no need for them anymore because you have railroads, you have the Intercontinental Railroad going across, and that's the end. And that's why we have these markers here today instead of having the trails, right? So these are gone. These are almost tombstones in a way, because the train took over, and later on you'd have the automobile and of course all that, and then you wouldn't need these trails. But right here in Gardner, Kansas, is where they went out and went zoop, to the northwest to Oregon, split off there to California, or went southwest to New Mexico. And they met right up there. Right up there. Pretty cool. Right here in Gardner, Kansas. This has been another episode of Andy Ackright History. I hope to see you next time.